We just arrived to Uyuni, which is the tourist town in Bolivia that does all the salt flat tours. We booked ourselves a salt flat tour that seemed like a regular price, and we're gonna go in like 2 hours.
No, you gotta start from the beginning. We took our second night bus in a row after spending 12 hours wandering around the pass. And then on the bus ride, we slept okay. We slept okay on the bus ride. And then we got to Uni at 6 in the morning. And as soon as we stepped off the bus, we were absolutely bombarded by people offering tours and coffee shops with Wi-Fi. It was nuts. We had just woken up, and it was just like this blast of energy from the people getting off the bus. And yeah, but we found a tour we liked for a good price, about, I think, average. I think it was the average kind of cheap price that you could get. Found a coffee shop, and we think we found a bus to Villazon, which is the border town between Bolivia and Argentina. So now we're just deciding if we want to do a third night bus in a row or spend a night here and catch the morning bus out.
I feel like the latter might happen.
3 night buses in a row might be a little much.
It's been a crazy morning. We decided to go get a hotel room, went and reserved a hotel room, ran back to our tour, decided that we actually didn't want a hotel room. We're missed by the people who were going to take us out to the Salt Flats tour. Then we were very quickly cabbed out to the very start of our Salt Flats tour. And here we are at some decrepit trains, which is the start of our Salt Flat tour.
Our guide probably doesn't speak much English, so I don't know.
We better get back there because we're really late, so we're kind of holding everybody up.
Not our fault though. We were there early.
One thing I've been wanting to talk about for a while is how all of these brick buildings are built. So what they do initially is they build a column of rebar and concrete, and then they build a brick wall in between them. So the rebar and concrete keeps it steady, upright, and then they just can really quickly build a whole bunch of brick walls. Okay, I'm thinking about how they make all these trinkets really quickly. I bet they take some kind of clay and they cast it in a 2-part mold and they split it open. And this mold would have all the details. And then, to get these details to show in white, I bet they cover this entire thing in like white clay and just take a toothbrush and rub off everything but the clay in the cracks. And that way, they can make a whole bunch of really similar looking ones really quickly. And then they sell them for like a whole bunch of money because it looks like it's been hand carved. Bet not. New salty friends. Taking perspective photos right now. So this is the water table. If you dig down like 6 inches anywhere, you'll hit water. And the water crystallizes. I wonder where all this salt comes from.
It's like ice.
The salt seems to crystallize on the top of the water, but salt doesn't float, so right when you touch it, it sinks. Which is nuts.
Yeah.
In the Salt Flats, the reason there are so many flags is they have a motorbike race that goes to the center of the Salt Flats. I think they stop at that little salt restaurant where we had lunch. And I think there's a flag for every country that competes in the off-road motorcycle race.
The USA does not. everybody was taking pictures and like finding their flag for their country, and the US didn't have one. Well, I think because some of the rocks here, like if you look at the base, or over there, that's a good shot. You can see that some rocks, to me they look volcanic. And so I think this probably used to be a volcano. And the water, so the land rose, and then the water rose, and the coral grew on top of it. And then the water sank, and the coral dried out and either got petrified or fossilized or something.
And we had a kind of an unorthodox salt tour experience. We think the tour guide dropped us off at a random tour.
It was running late. We were sitting in the office waiting, and nobody had come. And so she came in and was like, "Oh, one day." We're like, "Yeah, that's us." So she took us, and we thought, I don't know, we thought she was the company.
She ran us out to a 4x4 Toyota SUV that drove us out onto the salt flats. We don't think it was the correct one.
The guy didn't speak any English.
Neither did basically any of the other tourists.
The other tourists were Argentinian or from Uruguay. And the guy from Uruguay spoke some English.
When we got back, I was feeling really ill.
Yes. We were originally planning on taking a night bus to Villazon that night. So it would have been 3 night buses in a row.
Unfortunately, we bought the ticket for the bus from our cab driver.
From the lady who picked us up, who we thought was in the tour.
She barely showed up on time after being yelled at over the phone by the person, by our tour guide company.
Lewis, the very nice gentleman who we originally booked the tour through. When we got back, he found out that we had bought the ticket from her, and he got all angry, not at us, but just like at her, because I guess she does this, and I don't know, it's not good. And he was very angry, but he was very helpful. And he called her, got her to come, and we got the ticket for the next day.
Luckily, because I had a really bad fever that night.
Yeah, it was a good thing that we took a break and rested in a real bed that night. And the next day we kind of just slept all day, hung out.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.